Taylor here with Hepta 7291, always trying to provide infinite intelligent information. So I just found out my number, my neurology sign. Hey, Dr. Carolyn. So my neurology number is the number 4. And I think I'll talk about that tomorrow so people can start to understand and know thyself as well as everything worth knowing. So I wanted to follow up and talk to you because on the last time I was on, I talked a little bit about getting your resting heart rate as well as your targeted heart rate when you're exercising and working out. And just to go back a little bit, I said that for a long time, over 15 years, I've been in, I guess, the world of sports, track and field and athletics. Hey, George. Hey, Bill. And so I've done a great deal of coaching on the college level, and as well as being head coach for Team USA and also working as the high performance director for Team Nigeria. And so I've been around a lot of elite athletes and working with Olympic type athletes. So I wanted to just bring it down and bring it to the average person and anyone who wants to just improve upon your level of living your best 7 phases of perfection or living a better fitness life. So I'm at the gym right now, just a small little gym. And so I'm going to show you some of the equipment that I spoke about and give you some information. So last time I asked everyone for a period of 5 days, the first thing you do in the morning, I asked maybe check your heart rate so that you could determine and get for 5 days to get an average so that we could take that number and then do a calculation so that you can actually end up coming up with your understanding your target heart rate or the heart rate that you want to get when you're exercising, so you'll know if you're pushing yourself too much or pushing yourself too little. So real quick to some of the equipment again. So if you like to use the bike, this is one of the machines that you can use, the bike. This is the Stairmaster. So sometimes people like using this to climb. Oh my God, this one really burns and works a lot of calories. Thanks, Bill. I usually like this one. This machine right here is actually the elliptical, and it's really good on the joints. So when you're using the elliptical, you're not putting a lot of pressure. You're putting no pressure on your actual joints. And the standard treadmill, this is a good machine to use as well. You can walk on the treadmill, and you can also run on the treadmills, and you can do some intervals on the treadmill. I want to recall that in the past I've heard that some marathon runners will do a lot of their training on the treadmill just to kind of save their body from the wear and tear. Some of the other exercises that I'll show you, I like using the ball, and I typically use the ball when I want to work on my core, and I'll talk a little bit about the importance of strengthening the core because it helps with your balance and it helps, as you get older in life with stability. You can use some of the dumbbells. You can do deadlifts with them, maybe some of the bigger ones you use. And then I have the mat, because after I do any type of exercising, I always try to do a little bit of stretching and yoga types of things, which is actually just as important as the actual workout. Sometimes I use the bar to kind of stretch and loosen up my arms and my shoulders and deltoids and different stuff like that. And then there's just different other little machinery that you can use. But for the purpose of today, I just want to show you a little bit of the different exercises that I have suggested that you could do. So hopefully people have been getting their resting heart rate in the mornings so that we can do the calculation. And so I'll talk about that just a little bit. Again, so the target heart rate, if you're for my age, so you take your age and you subtract it by 220. So if you're, you know, if you're 20, let's say you're 20, you subtract that from 20, then that's obviously 200. Then you would take that number and then you would kind of like do another calculation. So I'll do myself. So I'm 52. Then I put in the level of exercise, the percentage of my maximum heart rate. I put 60. And then that gives me a target heart rate at a level of 100 beats per minute. So they say that the recommended target range for my age would be 92 to 142 beats per minute. Now these calculations are based on averages, so you have to, it's recommended that you exercise within 55 to 85% of your maximum heart rate for at least 20 to 30 minutes to get the best results from an aerobic exercise. And you can use any of these machines to do an aerobic exercise, because an aerobic exercise means that you're going like for a longer distance, like maybe about 20 to 30 minutes or more. So understanding your target heart rate is recommended that you exercise, I said, 55 to 85% of your maximum heart rate for at least 20 to 30 minutes. And knowing your target heart rate is an essential tool to monitoring your fitness goals. So you want to learn how to understand your heart rate, and which level you should be aiming for. So the easiest way, again, like I said, is you take your age and you subtract it from the number 220. The result is an age predicted maximum beats per minute. But it's also important that you note that this method does not take into account your level of fitness or inherited genes, which can make your true maximum heart rate about 10 to 20 beats per minute higher or lower. You can also calculate your targeted heart rate by going to a doctor, and you can do a stress test. And so the stress test they do on you will actually help you to understand your targeted heart rate as well. So, like I said, so you take you calculate that by using two different points. So I'm going to switch the camera around and show myself so I can show you how to calculate. So I'm putting the camera down. So if I want to get my targeted heart rate, I have two methods. I can use my radar, which is just on the wrist. This is my left hand. And I can find my pulse, or I can do my carotid artery, just below the jawline on the neck. You find your pulse, and you can count your beats for 15 seconds, 30 seconds, and then you multiply it. If I'm counting for 15 seconds, I would multiply that by 4. If I'm calculating for 20 seconds, then I would multiply that by 3. And then that's going to give me my targeted range. I'm going to switch back over for a second. Oh no, I'll keep it. Sorry, I'll keep it. So then you count that, then you get your targeted rate. And then from there, then you're going to use that number to get, like I said, your calculated heart rate. So just one second. Okay. So now, once I've gotten that, like I said, and I know now what my targeted rate is, then I'm going to then take that number. So for my number, first of all, when I did my resting heart rate for the 5 days, the average has been about 57 beats per minute the first thing in the morning, which they say is pretty good. So like I said, they say between 60 and 100 beats per minute is the targeted range. So then once I get that, like I said, then I subtract that by the 220 and I come up with my number. And like I said, my target rate then is 100. So that means that when I'm pushing myself and working out, I want to be between 92 to 142 beats per minute. And then that tells me if I'm working too much or if I'm working too low or if I'm right in the range of my workout. So that's the importance of getting that calculation. So then I said that after I do a workout on one of these machines, so say I'm here and I'm on the treadmill, trying to turn the camera around. Okay, so I'm on the treadmill and I've been doing a good workout for like 30 minutes. Then I hop off of the treadmill. Then I'm gonna check my pulse and my rate to see just how much I push myself. And then I wanna come over. I'm probably gonna maybe try to do after that a little bit of stretching. And then I'm gonna work on my core. So I'm gonna work on making sure that I strengthen my core. And some of the different exercises that I said last time that you could do is crunches. So if I wanted to do some crunches, I would just lay on the mat and start doing some crunches. I said that some of the exercises you can do if you want to work on building some strength, you can take some dumbbells and then you can do some exercises and some workouts with the dumbbells, either lifting down or deadlifts, going down, making sure that you can have good posture, and back up are some of the different types of exercises that you can do to stay fit. Like I said, you can use the ball. I like using the balls as well. I use the ball for my core as well, making sure that I work on this area. You know, sometimes I just might do different types of exercises using the ball as well. Okay, so I'm gonna switch the camera one more time. So in essence, you know, I said that you can calculate your aerobic heart rate range for exercising. Like I said, this range can be between 50 and 75% of your heart rate. So using the example, 50% of 100 beats per minute is 50. And then 75% of 100 beats per minute is 75. So then I would add 50 plus 80 equals 130. And then 75 plus 80 equals 155. So therefore, during an aerobic training exercise, I would want the heart rate that would be most efficiently to burn fat would be between 130 and 155 beats per minute. All right. Okay, so one more exercise. Hey, Kevin. I'm trying to show some people some different things. So one more thing I wanted to show you is I'm on the mat, and so if I wanted to do some crunches, I would just go down and do some crunches and coming up, or I like to do the bicycle, just doing some different bicycle stuff. Then you can do like some push-ups. A friend of mine, Sire, told me that a good circuit that he does sometimes is he tries to build his way up to 500. So push-ups, squats, and crunches, and you do that, say you do 25 each, and you build your way up and try to do like maybe 500 a day. So if I were to do push-ups, and say I'm doing 25, then I hop up, and then I do in-place squats, going down, making sure I'm like sitting in a chair, and then coming back up, and then I go down and I do some crunches. And I do a circuit of that. Say I do 25 each, and I do that for, and I try to build up to like 100, 200, 250, 300, 400, 500. And if I do that 3 times a week, doesn't take more than 10 minutes, then I'm actually going to be doing a good core circuit workout, and you'll start to see your level of fitness goes up. So I will continue to give as much information as I can to everyone. Like I said, as I learn, I try to pass that on. Tomorrow, I'll give you some more information on knowing thyself and everything worth knowing. Please check out my sister, Dr. Carolyn Taylor. She did her segment this morning, and look forward to doing my next segment with you. So remember, for the month of July, every week, Hepta 7291, we will give you as much infinite, intelligent information as we can. So, not bad for a 52-year-old. So, keep it up, everyone. Looking forward to the next segment.